This episode of Just Some Guardians is brought to you by Audible. If you stroll over to audibletrial.com/justsomguardians, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial of Audible so you can listen to a plethora of award-winning books, such as this week's top literary pick, Stubbing Pink Eyes, A Tale of Mortal Boo-Boos. It's an underwhelmingly soft tale about the biggest piece of shit in the world, tin beer, attempting to overcome the world's worst medical issue that any human being can encounter. Pink Eye contracted from prime numbers. Not only does he need to defeat this prime Pink Eye, but he must navigate the wide open world of the outlaw west after stubbing his toe on a horse trough because he couldn't see through his pink eye or pink crusty eyes. If you listen all the way to the end, you'll find the answers to every question this book introduces. Can tin beer muscle through his hardships? Can he win the Red Dead Fight Club championship with crusty vision and only 9 unswollen toes? Will he ever admit his undying and unrequited love for his fellow posse member, Gref? This oblong audiobook is voiced by the ever-flexible Mitchy Slaps and is available for another 7 minutes over at Audible. So quickly fly to audibletrial.com/justsomguardians and sign up for that free 30-day trial. And now, enjoy this episode of Just Some Guardians.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 84 of Just Some Guardians. How are you? It's wonderful to have you listening. To know that currently I am either sitting on your lap or inserting myself into your ear orifices. It's a good feeling, honestly.
For all parties, including.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a show. This is Just Some Guardians. Hi, we're a podcast. We talk about things. And we have a live show, twitch.tv/Just Some Guardians, Thursday night, starting about 11:30 Eastern. So tonight's show is supposed to be pretty jam-packed. And it will be. Russell is dying because he's decided to stay up till 5 in the morning every night playing Red Dead, and his body has now actually given up on him. He might be going to the hospital. Who knows? We'll keep you updated. Oh my God, what a loser! And then we're supposed to have Drafty, who most everyone in the community knows very well. A very dear friend. Yes, me and Gunbait have been in a shower with him.
Mm-hmm.
We have.
This is true. There's photo evidence of it.
So it did happen. Correct. Yeah. But he worked a full day. He starts early in the morning, and he thought he was going to be able to take a nap and wake up in time. But, sleep is sleep. So if you're listening to this, Drafty, hope you had sweet dreams. So, I'm ELMMMERFUDD. Hey, how's it going? I just said the hey, how's it going thing, but we can't use that twice. Okay, guys? So don't worry about it. It's fine. And it's going to be a two-man show. It's just me and... Voluptuous,
really
right? Is it voluptuous?
Yeah, there you go.
Of course I have to do this. I actually remembered it this week.
Oh, boy.
I already forgot.
What?
The voluptuous
There you go.
Gunbait 101.
What has this show turned into?
It's turned into us. That's what it's turned into. Hey, Gunbait.
Hey!
How are you?
Well, minus the fact that I have also been having sleepless nights. Great.
Good.
But how are you?
I'm actually doing pretty good today. I'm in a pretty good mood. I've also not been sleeping, but my body's had the opposite effect. I don't feel like I'm dying. In fact, I don't know what to do with my body. There's just so much energy happening at all times. I'm listening.
Could it be that Baja Blast you're drinking?
No, actually, I've been like
Hashtag
this all
not
day.
sponsored.
Hashtag I wish I was. By either Taco Bell or Mountain Dew. I'll take either sponsorship.
Okay.
But yeah. So there we go. I'm doing great, actually. I'm excited for tonight's topic. It was we're not going to say what it is yet.
Okay.
But, it was a big part of my childhood, big part of my life. Not just childhood, teenage years, moving forward. And
big part of my early 20s, actually.
Yeah. And, going through the list of things that occurred in this thing that we're going to talk about later, a lot of stuff popped up that I'd forgotten about. And I'm really excited to relive those memories with you, of all people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, what have you been up to, man? I know the answer.
I've been up to a lot of Red Dead, as you suspected, but also been doing a little bit of other little projects on the side, as you also may be aware of. We'll have an announcement for that later on tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. Some big news coming, and other, dare I say, other forms of content delivery.
How dare you say, sir?
Coming not only to your ear holes, but to your eye holes.
there's a lot of coming happening.
Yeah. A lot of holes being
a
filled.
lot of yeah. Boston cream pie. Yeah,
Yep.
man. Well, what is we all know we've been playing Red Dead, right? I think it's only fair. So I've been playing Red Dead. I don't know about you, Gunbait. I haven't seen you. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was you all along. That was an imposter. But I wanted to give the people an update. Like, we've discovered some things in the last week since the last episode. Some tricks and some cool things happening. What do you got going on?
Well, let's just start off with the roles completion. I have gotten up pretty high in Bounty Hunter rank now. I know you've probably already reached 20 by now.
In Bounty
right?
Hunter, no.
Oh, you have
so long in Bounty Hunter. Where are you at?
I'm at rank 10. And I haven't even been doing my own bounties. I just been, as an auxiliary thing, is just been joining in with you guys, just doing the bounties with you, and I've been ranking up as pretty well. I've only been focusing mainly on trader, but as far as like a collector, I really don't care about it. I don't know. That's just me. It's not my game style, but it's every time Reeb says, "Hey, there's a collector item over here," it's like, okay, I'll collect it.
I'm here.
Whatever. Yeah. But not just we discovered we did our just a couple nights ago, we did our first long distance delivery and trading, which was exciting. We actually did multiples of them.
Back to back. Yeah.
And we ran as a large posse and without fail. And then last night.
Oh, God. I don't want to relive this.
I'm sorry. I know that. I am so sorry for what had happened. The remainder of the night went well. We started taking less chances of eliminating people coming up on us, but we found out doing a long delivery mission, and then what we discovered with tips and tricks and stuff like that. Unless you're running explosive rounds or explosive arrows, you're going to have a hard time. And then we also discovered that there was issues with ability cards in the game. Mm-hmm. We had a nice little lighthearted discussion in another Discord about abilities and balance. We have some.
That's very nice.
we have some differences in opinion about balance, and I agree with you though that it's not balanced the way it is set out, because basically almost every time you load in, you have some incendiary rounds or explosive rounds in your inventory somehow, and it can be a little bit problematic, and not a little bit, really problematic when you're trying to do missions, and basically there's almost no way to recover from it. If they, there's some certain techniques that you can do where you can camp their horse after you've shot it down and make sure that you can't ever get back to your horse. So, and they can just keep you, have one guy either run off with the wagon or start stealing off the supplies. And it's a rough way to go. But the remainder of the night, last night we actually made, I don't know how many long distance deliveries we did, but
4?
Was it 4?
4, yeah.
These nights are running together.
Yeah, well, because it's just all back to back. So the secret here, folks, to really deep dive on what's happening here. So the medium delivery wagon, we talked about all this on the last episode of Just Some Gardens. You should go listen if you have not. We were all very sleep deprived, and I'm sure it sounded great. Actually, I re-listened. It sounded amazing. If I do say so myself. But so the medium delivery wagon, the person delivering it would get like $150, and anyone in the posse would get like 60. So this last week, we've all been moving up to the large delivery wagon. So the person delivering it gets $500 at base level, and then everyone else gets $250. And so in the past, like Gunbait just said, we've been doing the large delivery. So in the past, that has not been worth of our time because it didn't pay as much. We discovered with a large wagon, it's like $150 difference. So we're like, yeah, that's worth it. So everyone's just making hand over fist money. So what we're doing is everyone is in their own camp. At least 5 or 6 of us, however many we have that night, we all get our wagon fully loaded, ready to go, and we just jump posse to posse to posse to posse, make a delivery, jump to another posse, make a delivery, and just raking in the money. And it's been incredible.
Yeah.
I'm buying everything I want. We figured the game out.
Yeah, it's been actually quite fun. Actually having a lucrative operation, making money hand over fist and being able to buy the clothes, tent upgrades and camp upgrades and all that. It's been wonderful.
My camp's going to be 100% upgraded tonight. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for you, actually. I mean,
I've got the biggest tent now, and then later tonight I'll have the travel post, and then I've got everything for camp. I'm super excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I don't know what to say much about the collector roles. I mean, I've been thoroughly enjoying the trading roles. That was my big focus. Bounty hunting. We've been doing 5-star bounties. Have we even gotten into the 5-star bounty this week?
No, I think we've only done
Okay.
1 star, so we really need to dive back in and do that more.
Okay, I haven't even done it yet, but we, yeah. So since the update came out, like a week later, they released 5-star bounties, and
the legendary bounties.
I'm sorry, forgive me, the legendary bounties, and they've been a lot of fun. A little bit more thought put into them as far as like your standard run of the mill bounties where you run out, collect a guy, bring him back to jail. That's it. There has to be a little
all the time
in your daily life and work and stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you have that outreach.
Why does our mailman have a lasso? No one will know.
But yeah, so I mean, a little bit more thought has to go into these. The first week you had to basically clear out like 3 suspicion clouds, as I call them, but basically like encampments. Yeah,
suspicious.
Not suspicious clouds, but suspicion clouds.
I just wanted to hear you say those back to back. See if you can get it right. I'm really proud.
I'm working hard. So you have to clear out those essentially 3 encampments, and then clear everybody out, bring your main person back, and as it got harder, you had to take more people back to jail. So it's really hard to do that solo. The last week was the Wolfman, where you actually that was so good. It's in our favorite spot. It's up in the north where you're in all the snowy area, and as missions got harder, basically the weather got more severe. You also had more wolves coming around you, and this guy basically would howl and actually call the wolves in.
It was really
which
cool.
I thought that was really cool. And
did you notice? Sorry to cut you off, but just with the Wolfman.
Yeah.
So everyone was laughing at me when we finished the 5-star Wolfman.
Sorry.
So everyone was laughing at me because we finished the 5-star Wolfman. Mission ends, we come out and like there's just wolves howling everywhere. And I'm like, I think that's because of we captured the 5-star legendary Wolfman. I think that's why this queue is happening. And everyone laughed. They're like, wolves are just howling, you idiot. I looked it up. All right? That's what actually happened.
Okay.
So for finishing the 5-star legendary Wolfman, like all the wolves in the mountain were like sad he was gone. And that's why like for 10 minutes they're just like hundreds of wolves. It was the coolest thing.
That's amazing.
So I just wanted to say suck it, nerds. It's basically I just had to, I feel better.
I'm glad you do.
I feel great right now. We should keep talking.
Yes. Yes, we should.
So you haven't done the one this week then, right?
What is it? The Hoot Owl family? Or Owl Hoot family?
The Owl Hoot family, yeah.
They're a Dutch family, aren't they?
Yeah.
I guess.
French Canadian.
We would know.
Yeah, either way.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you what happens in that one?
Yes, please. I mean,
So,
I'm going to jump into it sometime anyways, but...
Yeah, because we need to get to the 5-star. Absolutely, we need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But, because I want to do every single one of these at 5-star. So, like, the Wolfman was awesome because it was in my favorite place. But this one's really cool. So you actually have 4 different people you have to capture. And they're all in 4 different spots in the desert. So like one of them's hiding in Fort Mercer with a bunch of people. And you have to try to like take everyone out of the fort and then get in there and take the guy. And so luckily Reeb had just gotten his bounty wagon. Or else you can like, the jail wagon's in a spot and you can like take one ride back to the jail wagon, then go to the next guy and back and forth. But since we just picked up the bounty wagon, we just kept throwing them all in. But yeah, so we're having to run all around the desert to each spot that these guys were hidden with their own like individual gang. And like everyone looks the same. You're having to dead eye to tell who's who because they're all so close to each other.
Oh, wow.
Like had to be soup. And this is on rank 1. This mission was hard. I can't wait to see this on rank 5. But it was actually funny. So the last guy, we get to him and he like, after all these other epic fights, we get to this last guy and he was apparently riding off by himself and his horse died. So he was just like standing in front of his horse like, what the hell? And we just walked up and roped him and it was amazing. No shooting necessary.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. I'm really happy with what they've done with this update. I mean, obviously there needs to be some fixes with certain gameplay mechanics, but as far as what they've done with content wise of rolling stuff out on a weekly basis has been absolutely wonderful. And the tradings, the trade role has just been great for just making money.
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed to just, collecting animal parts and taking them to a butcher and selling them off for a low price. You can actually make a lot more money in that way too. It actually makes the game feel a little bit more alive. But yeah, I can't wait to what, that sounds amazing to me with that bounty that just came out this week. I can't, I don't know how many of these they have planned out for this 5 of them. Okay.
10.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I don't math well.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah. Forgive me again. But 10, that he's holding up 10 digits, but that's amazing. I mean, that they actually created that much content into a season. And
it's crazy.
I'm hoping that this is a seasonal thing where they have more of these bounties. I don't know if they can keep it up or not, but
do you want to hear something really exciting?
Always.
And then we can move on. So I was looking in the news today for a certain game. I don't know if you heard of it, Red Dead Online. Oh, it's pretty cool.
I think I have.
Yeah, we should talk about it sometime. So the legendary bounty thing was them actually testing how much people would like a next tier of that role. And since the legendary bounties have been so good, there's going to be something like that for collector and trader. Like another activity that's like the next tier up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And that sounds like probably because the battle pass, when it ends, also ends the 10 legendary bounty weeks. So I think when that all ends is going to be like another, I guess, season, probably another update will happen. And then whatever the next, if they're adding more roles or adding more to these roles, and what that next tier of either if it's both or one or the other, like, I don't know. It sounds pretty awesome.
That sounds actually amazing. And with that, I mean, if they can just base it off of what they're doing with the existing roles, that beats what they're doing with GTA. I mean, GTA is going to make them money for many years on.
Oh, yeah.
But they come out with like a new DLC. And I don't know how often, but they're always still coming out with new DLC.
I feel like it's monthly. I'm not even kidding.
It's a lot, but
yeah.
And I dip in every once in a while to try stuff out, but if they can base it off the roles and just make you feel like that you're just, you know, building and working towards something, making the experience better, I think that's a great thing. Whenever they do it in GTA, though, it's like they bring in a new vehicle, and the vehicle is highly overpowered. It's almost unattainable, and it's really, you know, it can be frustrating trying to compete with that, especially if you don't have the jingle and, you know, to contribute to that DLC. But that's a cash for those that don't know that slang term.
Sorry, I had your cocaine gum jingles going in my head.
I'm gonna actually have to do some official recordings of those sometime.
I think so we can play those during streams of Red Dead.
Yeah.
This hunting trip is sponsored by cocaine gum. And we'll just play your little ad,
or we'll just interrupt the podcast and just play a little ad.
I'm totally okay with that.
We're sponsored by cocaine gum.
Cocaine gum. You got a jingle for us?
Not at this moment.
Okay.
If you ever notice when we're streaming or whatever, and I come up with that, there's been several minutes of me just thinking. I am not an improv artist. So.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I totally forgive you.
Sorry to let you down.
No, it's all good.
No,
but no, they just Rockstar had this big interview like yesterday, and it was actually pretty interesting stuff in there. So I'm excited for the future.
Where was that located?
I will find you the link.
Live video or
no? It was an article. Yeah, I'll have to find the article again for you. But cool. A lot of it's really cool because there's a lot of stuff like they learned from GTA and like how that progression system moved. And the big thing they said is like, you know, making the businesses and stuff in GTA, like how quickly they went from like you're nothing to an enterprise. Like they're like, we learned from that. We want to slow that process down, which is why you start in your camp for trader. And it sounds like eventually you'll work your way up to like maybe actually having like a storefront. And like,
that's amazing.
Yeah. So instead of just going from here straight to the top, like a lot of smaller steps to make you feel like you're progressing your business forward.
So they may even have down the road like actual house ownership, you know, which I kind of, you know, gave a nod to when the update first came out. I was like, I really wish they kind of actually had it to where they had house ownership, and I got poo-pooed in the voice call when I was playing with you and other people, but you know, I understand that there are also technical limitations to actually owning your own house in Red Dead, but they've done it in GTA. You know, they've worked it out to where you can multiple people live in the one spot or whatever. But that's awesome. I like that they're just kind of taking a slow approach to this. I think the game's doing well. I think they're also making money off gold sales now.
Absolutely.
So it's probably heading in the same direction as what GTA is. Mm-hmm. That they're just gonna have people just buy into gold. And I mean, I've even been guilty of it myself. I mean, it was like, well, there's some things that I'm not high enough rank yet, and I just kind of want to kind of accelerate this a little bit.
Yeah, as you're like, you know, I've already put 300 hours in, and I know I'm going to put a 300 more in. So yeah, I'll treat myself. I'm worth it.
I deserve this.
Yeah, I'm excited because, you know, like when the online first came out, we were worried what would actually happen with it. If it was just going to be that bland thing forever. And like a year later, now we're to a
Exactly.
point where we're like, okay, this is actually going to be a thing now. It's super exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You ready to jump into this main segment?
Let's main segment it up.
Yeah, let's main segment this bitch. We're going to main segment the shit out of this main segment. Cool.
All right, awkward silence. I love it.
Hey.
I always love those. Those are the greatest.
So, what we're talking about this week, ladies and gentlemen, is a really beautiful era of gaming that I didn't realize exactly how beautiful it was till I was looking through this list. We're going to be discussing memories, games, genres, like advances, even, who knows? Gunbait's a smart guy. In the PlayStation 2. Not the PlayStation 1. Not the PlayStation 3. That thing was actually terrible. We're talking the PlayStation 2. And this was my... So, I've talked about in the past that I had a Sega Genesis as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And my next... I didn't have anything from Sega Genesis until PS2. I didn't own anything in that whole gap of time. So this was like a big jump in gaming for me. A lot happened here.
I also owned a Sega Genesis.
Because you're a good man.
And yeah, it was great. And I even had the adapter that upgraded it from 16-bit to, and I know we're on a PS2 topic, but I did have the adapter that went in that upgraded the graphics 16-bit to 32-bit.
That was a day.
Basically, it just updated the color gambit or whatever. It was okay. But it was interesting. But no, from Sega Genesis though on, I didn't own any console until PS4.
Really?
Now, you're probably wondering, Gunbait, why are you here during a chat during the PlayStation 2 era? And that's because even though I did not own a PlayStation 2, I still have fond memories of actually going over to a friend's house. This was basically after high school, kind of a pre-college era for me. And just hanging with some of my best friends growing up in high school and just staying up till like 4 a.m, kind of like I do right now.
But we're way older now.
Yeah, and I'm not dealing with it as well. Back then, I coped with it so well. I could lay down for an hour and be right back up.
I haven't slept in 36 hours. Let's go for a run.
Exactly. But had some very fond memories with the PS2, and also beside that, also the Xbox. I think that was also Xbox One era, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Then it bridged over to Xbox 360 in between
PS3.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just had some really good memories. Almost close to some. And keep in mind, my friend, we always went up to his house because he had his
really
parents.
hot mom. Oh, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Linda was fantastic. Anyways,
Linda, if you're listening, call us.
Anyways, so his parents lived downstairs along with all his siblings, and somehow he managed to have this whole, it was a 2-story home, and he managed to have this like whole upstairs house up, on the second floor, his own dedicated living room and a bedroom off to the side.
What?
So yeah, I don't know how the fuck he worked this out.
Yeah.
But it was one of the best gaming scenarios I've ever had. I mean, and I used to play, these are also friends I used to like have garage bands with and stuff, and we would actually, play a lot. So there's guitars everywhere. It was a room dedicated to us. And
that's so cool.
And it was a dedicated gaming room. So you had like, the 2 recliners on the side and one single couch in the middle. And we'd all just huddle around a slightly less than big screen television. And I do remember just playing a ton of PS2 games. And I know at that point, I mean, I'm looking over this list of PS2 games. I'm just like, the memories are flooding back to me.
Yeah,
of,
the feels
just
are real.
shouting at each other in the same room. But we've already mentioned it before earlier in the show, but GTA, now we have GTA 5, but and I know that there was like GTA 3 that came out, and I don't know if that was a PS1 game. Was it?
It was, I think it was one of those that like bridged the gap.
Okay. So yeah, I believe that came over from the PS1, and they also made a version for the PS2, but that wonderful time of like San Andreas and Vice City. And I didn't play a whole lot of San Andreas, but I did play a lot of Vice City. Just because, mainly, for one thing, you can walk around with a katana. It was so amazing.
And that's funny
But
because I played a lot of San Andreas and not a lot of Vice
did
City.
you?
Yeah.
You liked, was that the one where you can run around with a double-ended dildo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That was good times. I mean,
Well, I just, it's mostly just because I really wanted to get on the damn train, CJ, Some of you will get that reference and some of you won't. And that's okay with me.
I wish I played more San Andreas. You can get all those games on mobile now. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's amazing what our
And
technology has come to.
Rockstar actually has their own launcher now. And if you get it, you get San Andreas for free.
I'm gonna have to go now. Launcher on PC, you mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You sold me on it.
Done.
I'm going to do that tonight. That sounds amazing. Okay. But yeah, I remember playing all the Grand Theft Autos. I don't know what was the one that like really that pops out to you that you always played.
Well, I'll start at the very beginning. Very good place to start. So, when we got the PS2, it came with a little game called Jak and Daxter. I don't know if you ever got to play that one.
I played it a little.
Okay, I figured playing with just a bunch of friends, it probably wasn't a lot of time for like single player RPG stuff.
Yeah.
So I had played a lot of Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. And that was the first time I'd seen like an open world RPG, that kind of, and but I hadn't played anything until I put in Jak and Daxter. And like, the graphics, the cinematics, the storyline, the gameplay, like it's my first time I was like, first time starting a game on the PS2, I was like, this is the graphics, this is so real. And now you go back and you're like, what is this? But yeah, I put so many hours. We didn't even buy another game because all of us were so hooked on Jak and Daxter. We all didn't buy another game till we all beat it. We'd sit down and like help each other through. Me and my siblings, my older brother, my younger sister. One of us would play through Jak and Daxter, while the other two watched. And then we beat it, and the other person had it, and we helped them through, and they beat it, and then the next person, and then we went and like got a bunch of games. But, like that is all we played until we all beat it. Was Jak and Daxter.
Gosh, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I remember back from the Nintendo days of actually playing like single player games, and then you also have other siblings around, waiting for their turn to play. And
yeah, 1 second, Gunbait.
Yeah, is Discord messing up?
Yeah. Let's move to. You want to move us to East?
Okay.
Because you're going robotic, yeah.
Yeah, you're robotic for me too. Give it a few minutes.
Hi.
Discord took a shit on us. We're back.
It did. It's great.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Thank you for on the fly tech support.
Fixed.
No, I just remember I didn't play too many one player games on the on the PS2, but I can only imagine of having like salivating siblings waiting around for their turn. And not only are you feeling the pressure playing the game, but also like having other people pressuring you saying, when's it my turn?
Or like when they'd already beat and they're like, I did this on my first try, you idiot. What's wrong with you? I'm telling mom.
Trashed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. I should talk to your brother.
Actually, yeah, I think me and my brother actually both, a few times growing up, we both just knocked each other out cold, right? Just, and game over. Game over, man. But I think 2 of those times, one each, was because of this game.
Wow.
Just pissed off and cold clocked. Done.
Families.
I hit him so hard. He's never been the same, honestly.
I've honestly been wondering what's the deal with that guy.
Seriously,
now
like,
I know.
How much drool can one person? Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm also looking over. I actually never got into the. What's that?
I was
sorry.
Gonna lead us, I think we're both leading it forward at the same time. No, go for it.
Okay. Never got into any of the God of Wars. I actually didn't get to that till PS4 time.
Yeah, same actually.
So I had recently purchased God of War for PS4. Haven't finished that yet, so I'm not qualified to talk about that. But
yeah, we had the PS2 was like in the middle of the living room, and we're always surrounded by family. So God of War was not going to fly. Well, I'm actually really curious, because you played a lot, with a group of people, obviously, multiplayer stuff. Like, do you remember what the first like multiplayer game you played on there was?
The first multiplayer game.
When you shut up and you're like, a PS2, what?
Yeah, I
assume that's what you sounded like when you were.
Exactly what I sounded like.
I figured you were just transported. I know.
Yeah. I'm trying to. For one thing, I mean, we played a lot of. I think there was Street Fighter on the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to remember no, it was Virtua Fighter that we were playing. I think.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, it was Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution is what we were playing and we played a lot of fighting games. And did we? Hold on one second here.
So actually, I have a question then.
Okay.
Street Fighter, Tekken, or Soul Calibur?
Street Fighter, Tekken, or Soul Calibur? I'm just gonna go with the old standby of just actually enjoying, saying that I actually enjoyed Street Fighter just because it was one of the games that we played that we kind of all knew all the, the fighting combos for all the players and stuff. So we played a lot of Street Fighter for PS2. But I mean, Street Fighter is one of those games though where it's just out for every platform essentially. I don't think it'll ever die.
No, absolutely not. I've always been more of a Tekken guy.
Really?
Yeah.
We played it a little. We just, as a group, we never really got into Tekken too much.
The bowling in Tekken Tag Tournament, an incredible game by itself, honestly.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was its own thing. I was like, this is actually incredible. And I pissed my brother off because I discovered one of the characters named Brian is actually an android. It looks like a human. When you do bowling, it puts you in first person mode, and he actually has like a computer like targeting system. And so we'd go bowling, and he would just have to like go off and throw. And like I actually like was getting a targeting reticle. I was like, oh, here we go, strike! Who knew? It was pretty great.
Did you get into Tony Hawk at all?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Tony
worried me there.
I never owned it, but that was actually the game when we go to what was my friend's Austin? Wow, I haven't seen him in forever. He was the house you'd go to, and it was just like Tony Hawk all day, every day. Oh, God, those were fun.
Yeah,
soundtracks, the game
soundtracks, definitely
creating your own stuff, trying to figure out, being the first person to figure out actually all the controls. Because we all started fresh at the same time. Like the first person like do a kickflip, everyone's like, "How did you do that?" Like stuff like that. It was me. Don't brag.
I think also the other amazing thing with like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the PS2, they allowed you to like. Didn't they have like memory cards on the controllers, or am I?
No, they were in the actual console.
Okay,
yeah, so you could like, put your own memory on there and then put it in your insert your slot into your. I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I know what you're trying to say. They had a way for you to load your own music into the playlist system.
Yes, too. That's right.
And and that actually made it really enjoyable too. There's another game that we played, and and forgive me, I may be blurring the lines here as far as like which console it was, because we played a lot of like Xbox and PS2 at the same time. We would always switch off between those two consoles, but I'm trying to think here. Red Faction Red Faction may have just been on Xbox.
I think you're right. I think I remember it on PC, but I don't think it was on PlayStation.
And you'll have to forgive me because
Never.
The issue with that is my friend had a limited amount of Xbox controllers, and so what he did was he bought the USB cables that you can adapt the PS2 controllers to play on the Xbox. And so whenever we played like 4-person games, we were, so that some of this may be a little bit blurred as far as on that, but I'm trying to look here.
Well, while you're looking, I'm going to take a moment to talk about.
Yeah.
I think I've brought this up multiple times on the show, but since we're talking about the PS2, Ferg brought it up in chat as well. We can't walk away without talking about Time Splitters 2, which is, to this day, probably still one of the best first-person shooters ever made. The story mode, which was co-op also, incredible story mode because you're time travelers, so like every level's in like a different period of time. The soundtrack, one of the few video games I actually have the soundtrack for. Oh, wow. Soundtrack for Time Splitters 2 is incredible. And so obviously as your time is traveling through all these times through all the levels in the campaign, you meet a lot of weird people from all over time. And so when you play the multiplayer, like all those characters are available. And then just some random, like a snowman and a monkey and stuff like that. And so like it was actually a really intense shooter, but it didn't take the aesthetic of it seriously. Okay. So you're running around as a monkey with a minigun fighting a snowman with a flamethrower against like a cowboy with a 6-shooter against some future RoboCop with a sniper rifle, which sounds just ridiculous. But it was actually, the shooting was tight, like a tiger, and
like a tiger.
And the game modes. Oh,
sorry, I went too far with that
bit. and the game modes were, I mean, you had your usual like capture the bag, king of the hill, capture the flag, team deathmatch, stuff like that. But another cool thing, which kind of wasn't done in that time, was you could go into the multiplayer and play against just an army of bots. You could if you didn't have friends, like I'm like, I just really want to sit down and play team deathmatch. You could set up teams of bots, be on a team, set their difficulty level, weapon loadouts, or however you want. And actually, like the AI was really smart for its time. I know some games out today that the bots are not as smart as Time Splitters 2 were, but like it was just endless hours of fun with that between my siblings, or just against bots, or you go to a friend's house and have multiple people having these all-out wars.
PS2, when was like what range of time was that actually released?
PS2
was that
time frame? I'm gonna find out right now.
We should have had that information up.
The PS2 was launched in March 2000.
2000. Okay, so 2000. I do remember playing like a lot of arena shooter games at that time. I was big Unreal fan. I've mentioned this on previous, other podcasts and stuff like that. But I love playing Unreal, and one of the biggest things that was great about Unreal was that if you wanted to just practice before you went and connected online, just kind of get warmed up, you can actually have AI bots. You can pop in there. So with different versions of Unreal Tournament. So. Because I know I played 2004 and different versions of Unreal before that, but
that's awesome.
But yeah, that's kind of cool that you can actually do that with Time Splitters. That's actually amazing.
Yeah, it was really. I need to find a way. I wonder if it's only on PS2. I gotta find out if it's somewhere. There's gotta be a port somewhere.
Now I suspect, because of the song that played at the beginning of the song that played at the beginning of the show.
Yes, that intro music.
Yes, that is by the wonderful DMX. That's
Yes.
and the
He
chorus line
is, in
says,
fact, going to give it to you.
who is?
X.
Oh, X.
Yes.
Is that in reference to any certain game in particular? Why? Oh, I'm done with this bit. but-
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that bit is over. In case it wasn't obvious.
We're moving on.
Rip that bit. What's up, Gunbait?
Hey. Oh, we just completely forgot everything in that bit. We're starting over.
I thought that bit was a transition.
I thought that certain things in that bit were pertinent to what we're going on to talk about.
I was just making silly voices. I don't know.
Oh boy.
But no, I didn't have a specific game in mind. But did that remind
Really?
you of a specific game?
I never played the game, but I do know a particular reference within the game,
Mm-hmm.
and that is Resident Evil with Mr. X.
I did not catch that at all.
Okay,
That's
so
why I was not with you on the bit.
okay. This is awkward. So there's a mod that you can get for Resident Evil that you can mod for whenever Mr. X comes after you.
Yeah.
That
Did it
it basically, rather than you hear the boom, 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 boom of Mr. X coming after you, it basically, when like Mr. X smashes through the door, you hear DMX come on and go, X gonna give it to you. I watched so many streamers where they had that mod installed because they said, here. The other people went up to the streamers and said, here, make sure you have this mod installed. So when you play this game, you'll find out. I go, okay. And then to watch the reaction of this big guy coming through doors and stuff, and then basically the music playing, they're both screaming and they're laughing at the same time. It was quite amazing. So that's why I thought you had the DMX song at the beginning, but
Nope.
no reason.
Had no
Okay.
idea about that. That'd have been a great. You know what? I'm just going to edit here. Edit point.
Yeah.
Yes, because I am witty and hip with the internets. Hence why I chose that song.
Stay off my
End
lawn,
edit
kid.
point. Nailed it.
I'm sure you played Star Wars Battlefront though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Good.
The actual Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Yeah.
Yeah, not the weird dice
Yeah.
thing.
Which are still.
I mean,
yeah, but.
they're okay.
Yeah, but they're not Battlefront. I remember the first time I saw Battlefront, actually, we went to. God, so many good memories of PS2. So we were at this wedding that me and my brother did not want to be at. We got dragged along with my parents. It was a family friend. Like, this sucks. The parents of the bride were like super rich, had a house up in the hills. We drove up there, like after the wedding, there was this big gathering there. We're like, oh my God, it's all just old rich people. This sucks. We grew up very poor, like so just weird, right? So one of their kids is like, hey, like, yeah, what's up? You guys look bored. Yeah. Do you like Star Wars? Yes.
Never heard of it.
Come with me. And we're like, no idea who this kid is, So we're like getting dragged to this mansion of a house. There's probably, I don't know. He like pulled a bookshelf and the floor gave out underneath as we fought a dragon. It was nuts. So we end up in this room. It's not even the kid's bedroom. It's like your friend with a private living room and stuff, but it was just like a part of that. It was weird. So he's got a group of people and they're having a LAN party with Battlefront in this huge all-out warfare where all they're using is Jedi and Siths. So it's just this giant lightsaber duel. And we're like, what even is this right now? And like, I'll never forget like that moment of just being out of place and then led into probably one of the coolest things that's happened in gaming for me. And then, going and buying the game and doing all the shooting and all the unlocks and learning everything. And the second one comes out and I don't remember that kid's name, but I'll always remember you. Probably in prison now.
I have a lot of those friends that are
Yeah.
like that in that scenario. I'm glad I
Very spoiled rich kid. Guaranteed he's.
guaranteed.
Yeah. They probably did
I had
something.
some, that I had mentioned to a friend of the show earlier. This I had a very awkward experience while playing Red Dead these past few weeks, but um, friend of the show, I won't mention their name because I don't know if they want to be outed like this. But I was like, yeah, I had a lot of friends that just, they were assholes in school. They were bullies, and they just treated me like shit all the time. And lo and behold, they ended up being cops. And his response was, "Well, I was a cop," and I was just like, I'm not saying anything about how you conduct yourself." He's like, "Oh, I was an asshole."
I wasn't.
No, no, but I was like quickly backtracked. I was like, "Well, I mean, they later became very nice people and stuff. They were great."
Thank you for
So
sharing.
yeah. Back on the topic.
Yeah. Sorry,
games.
X gonna give it to you. Hey, so
Yeah.
I just told that story. It's your turn. What do you got?
Well, I know that you've been trying to get me into the Metal Gear games because I had never had the option to play those.
What's Metal of Gear?
I said Metal Gear?
Oh, metal. I thought you said Metals of Gear. I was like, what's Metals of Gear? I've never mentioned Metal Gear ever. No, it's not me.
Don't be like this.
No, Gears of War. I try to get you into that, but I haven't ever mentioned. I've never played a Metal Gear.
Oh,
game.
You're right. I'm getting the two confused. Jeez. Well, then let's let's forget that little segue and go right on to let's see here.
This is a new segue. Whoop.
I had a wonderful time playing Tomb Raider. I mean, I'm sure everybody was.
Yeah,
For one thing, for a lot of boys, it was their first crush. I mean, who wouldn't like polygonal boobs on a screen?
I love those. Like Madonna really did it to me. You know what I mean?
Yes. Hers were more defined.
That's true. That was the HD update. Yeah.
Yeah. Lara Croft had more of the uniboob. Portrayal of that. But yeah, good times. Also, I remember actually sitting in. That is also, you mentioned about one player games before, and that was also a one player game, but I was actually pretty good with that. And I do remember my friends gathering around and watching me. Like, I was always the guy that they called in because they couldn't do platforming or something.
Oh yeah.
And I've always had intentions on going into the further renditions of Tomb Raider, but never really gotten back into it. I know Dino, a friend of ours, he he I think once a year he goes through the Tomb Raider games on PC, and it's like,
really?
Man, yeah, he loves them so much.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's really fun to watch, and I know I would just really like to get back into that. I don't even know if they even have any of these. Well, I'm sure they have some of these games on emulator and stuff, or probably all of them, but I would actually really like to go down through and go back through and play Tomb Raider again, and just kind of go down memory lane and actually really enjoy that. But gosh, I mean, that was a big deal to me, Tomb Raider, not just because of the being a young man or anything like that, but just at the time, the graphics, that was a big deal to me. I mean, I was like, wow, this is amazing. The world building that they did in that game.
And the puzzles and the platforming were,
like nothing. It was truly astonishing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, in that kind of zone, a game series that I wish never ended, and I would really love for them to just announce, hey, we've decided to make these again because the world needs them. I was mega fan of the Splinter Cell series.
I've only played what version of Splinter? Was it just one?
Well, there was quite a few of them came out like in a row. It was like at the time, you know how we're like, oh, there's a new Assassin's Creed every year, a new Call of Duty every year. Like that was kind of the first game series to do that. There was a lot of Splinter Cells on PS2.
Which version was on PS2? Because that's not showing up on my list, and I only played just a little bit of it. But
Blacklist was on there, just regular Tom Clancy Splinter Cell.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory. Just the first Splinter Cell was absolutely incredible. Because I remember, I think we rented it at Blockbuster.
What?
Yeah,
you could do that. Also, what's a Blockbuster?
So it's a bust of a Lego brick.
Oh,
yeah. Block.
I get it.
With an R on it. That worked really well. Blockbuster was this thing that used to exist. Fergus probably never heard of it because he's 12.
Yeah.
But no, you could rent all sorts of things. It was great. Anyway, I know you know. But
yeah, I do.
If you don't know, people in the audience, Google it.
I was being facetious. I'm sorry I led you astray, and I'm not going back into this bit.
Let us journey forth together, Gunbait 101. Yes. But so we rented this because every Friday we were that family. Every Friday we're in Blockbuster. We rented one movie as a family, and one game as a family. And one week it was my turn for the game, and just the cover art with Sam Fisher, and he's like against a chain link fence wearing it's very dark. He's got all black. You just see the goggles. Yeah, and I was obsessed with the night vision goggles. I was getting into like drawing at that time, which I haven't stayed with, and I'm awful. But at the time, I was actually pretty good.
You can do some kick-ass stuff in MS Paint, though.
I destroy him. MS Paint is my bitch. All right. But like hand drawing stuff, like everything involved that look for a long time. I was obsessed with it. But so we took this game home, and like, it was one of the first kind of cover to cover shooter kind of games. Sound played a real thing. If you jumped off a ledge, like you had to push a button quick so you landed softer so you didn't make any sound. Shooting all the lights, executing someone silently, then dragging their body somewhere where other people can't see it. Like I'd never experienced anything like that in a game. Now it's pretty commonplace to for any kind of sneaky game, but like that was the first time that it existed. And like, just the first time existing.
That type of gameplay is almost intermingled in with other gameplay now. Yeah. It's almost kind of you're almost expected to, but with that game, and I was never good at it. I did play it, but I got frustrated with it because I would just either get into the view of somebody, and I never got past the first few levels of that game just because I literally, that's how much I sucked at stealth. And it was just frustrating to me. I was like, F this game, and throwing controllers. And by the way, speaking of PS2 controllers, not the greatest quality of build.
No.
At that time. At all. A lot of us friends were putting into a fund of replacing the PS2 controllers. So, but
we had a lot of clear blue ones for a long time. Yep. Just stocking up.
Yeah. No, I also had fond memories of that. That is an era that I kind of miss.
Same.
But I don't know if it would work in this day and age of having the subscription platform that like PlayStation Plus or Xbox, whatever they call it. I'm not an Xbox person, but where they have
bullshit. Feels Xbox. Move on.
Yeah. But yeah, in this day and age of like subscription services where you're paying to use a service of like multiplaying and stuff like that, I don't even know if game rental would work that well without having to pay for those services. So
yeah,
but I do kind of miss that because that was the other thing that my friends and I did was we'd meet up early in the evening, head over to the movie rental place. Excuse me. and we would spend a few hours just going over the games and actually, just trying to select what all of us wanted to play. And I don't know. I kind of miss it, but I also don't. I really love on-demand stuff now.
Yeah,
so.
I still every once in a while, like if a single player game's coming out, you can rent games at Redbox. It's like I'll go every once in a while if I'm like unsure, I'll go rent a single player for like a night. But I mean, it's annoying because you spend the whole first, the night you have it installing the updates that came with the game when it launched.
Yeah.
Love that part of modern gaming. But
well, that's the other thing that's changed, and I guess we can kind of do it in comparison to how we game now. But the CDs or the discs that came, the medium that they were transported on,
that was the game.
That was the game. It wasn't a license anymore. That's not the encryption code to play the game. That maintained everything on that. I mean, I know that a lot of people are saying "shut up, gunbait." That's what cartridges were all about. And it's like, I get that. But, compared to what we have now is like you install a game from a disc. It may have the base game on there, but then you have all the updates, DLC that downloads beside that. I don't know how, it's been such a long time since I've actually bought a physical disc. Like, for instance, Destiny. I don't know, does every DLC come out on its own special disc?
It did in Destiny 1. I haven't, because I bought them. That was a disaster, by the way, buying discs in Destiny 1.
Okay.
God, that was a mess. Because they did that. I remember, I bought the game, and then I think I bought the base game, and it came with the first 2 expansions. And then when Taken King came out, I had to return my copy of the base game with the first 2 things, and then pay the difference to get the Taken King with the base game and the expansions because it was all in a pack. Then I had to go home and I had to uninstall everything and then reinstall that disc. And so then Rise of Iron came out and I had to hand in Taken King, and it was such a disaster.
Oh no! Oh gosh, that does sound like a disaster. But I guess times were simpler back then because I mean, if you think about it too. The game you got was the game you got, and
there's
have
no
DLC.
patches, updates. Yeah,
there's no. I mean, I don't remember if there was ever any like separate disc that you would have as a companion to the original game or whatever. It was just a whole new game. Was that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I never had it.
Well, you want to talk about it?
But no, it was kind of, I don't know, like Game Shark or something like that. But like they at some point someone came out with a disc and you bought it at the store. Like it wasn't like some weird, guy in a trench coat flashes you and then hands you the disc in a back alley. I mean, that's how I bought it, but you could get it in stores.
I prefer it that way.
Yeah. My way or the store way?
Your way.
Okay, yeah, good. So do I. That's
it's more intimate that way.
Yeah, absolutely. You fondly remember. I'm never going to get rid of that disc because of that dick, So, but like it just had like a shit ton of games and all the cheats on it, and you just like insert it into the console, and it would just like put all these cheat codes on your memory card, and as you played games, it was just like whoop, cheats enabled, whoop, cheats enabled.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I mean, well, with your point, with no updates, because like. On the PS2, it didn't just come with, you didn't have Wi-Fi, it came with your console.
True. Yeah.
There was no port to just plug it in. You had to buy a special adapter separate that plugged into the PlayStation, which then you could plug into the internet. So most people never even played online on PS2, but you could.
I don't remember too many occurrences of playing any online PS2 games. Usually it was mostly for, oh really? So for me, it was mostly couch co-op.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Because I mean, if you have a local group of people that can play a game together, what's the point of that? That didn't come along until like usually Xbox or PS3 days when my friends updated their consoles. So and I was just being a cheap friend freeloading off them.
That's the best way to do it.
Man, I had so much fun, and didn't cost me a dime.
It's so all you had was the good memories of showing up, ha ha ha, ha laughter. We are bonding, and then you went home.
Yeah, had a few beers. It was great.
Love. So did I. I was 10. I was kidding. I wasn't 10.
I was a little older, but
I wasn't 10. Just want to make that very clear. I was 11, so shut the fuck up. Hey, I threw a Vine reference in for the first time. Look at me. Okay. So actually, a game I really want to talk about leads into because of what we just talked about with the internet. So I only played one game online, and I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but one of my favorite games of all time. And it had so many iterations. So when I finally bought this game, grab your butts, enjoy this title.
oh my.
Let's see. I gotta hold on. I gotta get the whole title.
Katamari Damacy.
This is great. It was like
Why are you looking that up?
Need for Speed Underground Redux Dub Edition.
You had to be online for that?
Well, no. Well, I had to. You didn't have to play online, but I did because that game hooked me. That's like it's taught me. I'm really good at like keeping my eye on a mini map while I'm doing everything else at the same time because of this game. So it was a street racing game. It was very intricate car customization. I mean, insane car customization.
Are.
Yeah, but like, I mean, there's games that come out now you still can't do as much as you could then. It was nuts, but it was one of the best looking games on the console, probably because it was the Redux dub. It was redone twice. I don't know why. The soundtrack was awesome. But it was a street racing game, and you had to be really good at like, you're racing through, and there's just anyone who's played Need for Speed, the little checkpoint clouds that pop up in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
But so you're driving, you're trying to watch where other drivers are in the race, trying to watch where traffic is, you're trying to see where the next marker is, while you're looking at the mini map to tell what the best route through the town is to get there. So you're watching like 9 things at the same time if you want to be good at it. And I got pretty good at it. So, don't mean to toot my own horn, toot, toot. But I mean, I think that game, because now I can handle like a lot of things happening at once, and I can kind of understand what's going on. But I played it was the first game my mom was like, "Are you ever going to play another game?" I'm like, "Why? This is incredible." But which makes me sad because I haven't played like a racing game in a long time. Since then. Actually, I just realized this. It's kind of sad. That's like my favorite kind of game for a long time.
I actually had like a desk mounted. I mean, these were for PC games, but I had a desk mounted steering wheel and foot pedal system for racing games and stuff. And
I bought one for the PS4 for the PlayStation 2 actually.
Oh,
Because
really?
of this game.
Wow.
I went out and mowed a shit ton of lawns because I wanted to get into it. And it was the dumbest. It worked so bad. I used it for 3 races and I went, this is garbage.
Half the time the clamps would untighten or whatever.
And
I don't even know how it's set up.
The latency between the wheel movement, what happened in game was
gross.
Especially when you're trying to like move through buildings like you're supposed to. Like you're just like, oh, okay. I guess I crashed. Thanks. Glad I bought this thing. Yeah, man. Need for Speed. And then the next one that came up after the dub edition, what was it? Need for Speed 4? I don't remember, but it was really not a good game.
Yeah, I guess the closest thing I ever got to...
not Need for Speed.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Midnight Club. Fuck me sideways. That's what it wasn't a Need for Speed game. Midnight Club dub edition remix. Oh my god. Yep, there it is. Midnight Club 3 dub edition remix. Found it. What a title.
That's not even on my list. That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe I
Yeah.
got the title of the game wrong.
The only Need for Speed that I see for PS2 is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2.
That was a fun one.
But yeah, I didn't really do any racing games. I think the closest thing I played around that era was Star Wars. Was it Pod Racer?
Yes!
But I don't
That
know
was
if
a
that
great
was,
game.
I don't know if that was for PS2 or
It
not.
was.
It was? Okay.
That was an incredible game. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we played that a lot. And that was actually a lot of fun. And my buddy had I'm a big fan of Thrustmaster controllers and flight sticks, and he had one that was it was like the alternate to the Microsoft Force Feedback flight stick. That basically playing that on, and he had an adapter that he can play it with the PS2. So it was really simple. You had all your controls on the stick, and you could basically fly this pod racer. What was awesome about it is, if I remember correctly, the motor that was in that whatever the contraption was that caused it to give you the force feedback and fight with you, when you went to hit your boost, that controller stick would actually kick back at you. And it would flip your wrist back, and if now you had to engage it, but I do remember playing that, and it was like that thing would just kick back, and we had it mounted to his coffee table in front of the couch, but so we were kind of at a weird angle playing this, but it was like the best way to play it when we were playing it. But I do remember that actually, like, it gave me some wrist damage after playing that after a while, because every once in a while I'd hit the boost, and all of a sudden it would that stick would kick back, and you had to fight to push it forward to keep basically your pod racer from shimming from side to side. But yeah, that was insane. There was also another Star Wars. Was it Bounty Hunter? Was also came up for the PS2.
It did.
Which I got
Bounty Hunter.
I got the updated one, or the remaster or whatever for PS4. And I played that a little bit.
Those controls suck.
Oh gosh, it was a rough game to play, and
but it was a cool game.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I had fond memories of it, but then I tried to get back into it with the remaster. I was like, oh gosh, why did I think this game was amazing? By the way, don't go and revisit some games that claim to have like great graphics or anything, because
just let them be.
Yeah. Also, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah,
that's another life lesson. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you like Bullet Time? Do you like John Woo movies?
Yes and yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Tell me more.
Did you ever play Max Payne?
I did not. I watched a lot of Max Payne stuff. That was one that I did not play it.
Yeah, I played a lot of Max Payne. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That was the first game that basically, with Red Dead, he with the eagle eye or the eagle vision or whatever they call it, and then the dead eye, where basically you have the slow down timing. Max Payne, you had the bullet time, kind of like the Matrix. I don't know. I think that came out after the Matrix.
The Matrix game too. We have to talk about that.
Oh, I never played that game. You'll have to tell me about that.
Yeah, get through Max Payne.
But with Max Payne, though, it was an amazing thing. So you can turn on bullet time anytime in the game, and there was obviously a cooldown or a bullet time pool of how many times you can use it. But it was just, I just love that whole game mechanic. And now every once in a while you'll see that in games where you have this kind of bullet time effect that goes in, and it's really interesting to see that. That's kind of where it was born from. I imagine they probably got the idea from the Matrix, but it was just a really neat
diving
thing
in slow motion.
Yeah, and also kind of it was funny how the ragdoll effect happened when you land, just your body flopping across the ground. But that was also a very trippy game from what I can remember of it, like entering into burning buildings and stuff, and then you're also tripping on, actually physically tripping on stuff because that's what's giving you essentially bullet time, is you're getting drugged up or whatever. But that was just interesting for the fact of actually just having a different game mechanic to where you can actually slow down time. That was pretty big, as a new game mechanic. So,
Oh yeah.
anyways, Matrix the game.
Yeah, Enter the Matrix. I forgot. I played this one a lot too. I can't believe I forgot about it. So again, that's why I love talking about like just specific console or something, because so many things just pop up. You're like, I forgot that whole section of my life. I blacked out. So Enter the Matrix comes out. And I remember picking this up because I'd just seen The Matrix. And, obviously, good selling campaign, making a movie for your game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that worked, right? But, so...
Of course it's
Of course. Yeah. Thank you. But, I mean, it's a Matrix game. I mean, picture the Matrix in your head. You're doing a lot of stuff like that. But the thing that stands out about that game is at the time, it felt like motion capture, but you couldn't really do that in a game at the time. Like how the character models did hand-to-hand combat, ragdolled, the running animations, everything was like, at the time, so realistic feeling. That, I mean, I would just run around and punch things forever and not even progress missions. The hand-to-hand combat, like how the stances were, how your arms and legs moved as you were doing stuff, how the person you were punching reacted to your punches. I'd probably go back now and it's probably awful in retrospect, but at the time, like, it was one of the most realistic things out there. It was, and I remember, and it had that kind of the Matrix kind of Max Payne-y slow time, and you could actually like run up wall and do the little somersault off while you're shooting at the same time. And
I think the movie came out first, but a Matrix. So, but it was funny because yeah, but I think Max Payne got the bullet time from the Matrix, and then Matrix the game came out, if I remember correctly.
And then the movie, yeah. Weed your way through that one, listeners.
I was trying to actually work out in relationship between when Max Payne and Matrix the game came out. Actually, not. I wasn't trying
before the movie. Yeah,
always before the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Battleship is a great movie, followed by a great board game.
Little known fact: board game was based off of Hunt for Red October.
Huh, yes, I'm a Russian submarine captain. But yeah, that Enter the Matrix was a very difficult game too. I remember that at the time. There was because at the time there wasn't really difficulty settings in games. It was just like, this is the game.
I kind of wish that I had actually played that game. It kind of bummed me out because I was really thoroughly happy with how the movie at that time, how the movie came out. I wasn't crazy about the sequels or anything like that. The number 3 Matrix, or the third one, Revolution, I enjoyed, but the middle one I didn't like so much. But yeah, I'm sorry. I feel kind of bad that I missed that one, and I'm sure I would have enjoyed it.
Well, absolutely. I might actually have to go back and play it just so I can ruin it for me.
Let's see here. I didn't go through any of the Devil May Cry games. Did you ever get into those at all?
No, I actually didn't. No. Surprisingly enough. Then you have all the actually probably the, so it ends at probably the last game series I'll talk about, and if you want to hit on something too, and then we should probably move forward.
Sure.
The biggest one I really want to talk about was a game series that came out after the movies were made, which came out after the books were written, which is unheard of, honestly, in video games. But the Lord of the Rings games on PS2. The Hobbit, not a good game. I'm just gonna throw that out there. That game was awful. But
I didn't even know that.
Fellowship
came
of the
out.
Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King was a series of games that came out. It was done by Warner Brothers. I think their studio. I think LucasArts actually helped. I'm not sure. I feel like they had something to do with it. But
Wow.
you played through the whole story of the movies, and it had just different levels, and it was like some levels it was more like a long distance shot while you're running around third person, or it was like almost side scrolly. It was a weird camera angle, but like you played through, and the combat was really good. There's combos as you leveled up. You unlocked different weapon attacks, weapons, different characters. Eventually, you could play out through the whole game as Isildur, which is really cool. But I just remember them being just incredible games, and like the battle for Helm's Deep, you actually were like on the wall of Helm's Deep while there's thousands of Uruk-hai coming, thousands of Uruk-hai walking towards the wall. Racing, my bad.
I got scared.
But yeah, it was wow. That's how they climbed up the wall. But so you're actually like knocking down ladders and fighting them off the wall, and then when the wall explodes, it actually puts you protecting the door to get in the keep against waves of enemies while they're trying to rebuild defenses, and you work your way up, and as Aragorn swinging through the water and killing just everything that moved, and it was so badass.
That sounds amazing.
And then I remember one of the biggest moments in gaming was the Return of the King game launched, and you actually had cloaks that moved when you ran, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing ever!" I had no idea this technology existed because they couldn't do cloaks in games before that.
Yeah, they were all static.
Yeah, it looked like from the back you're wearing a robe.
Yeah.
So it actually like burrowed, whatever. I don't know what word you want to use. Made your flag wave. I don't know, but while you're running around, yeah. But go to YouTube. But just incredible games. If you get the chance, play through them. I've gone back and played them, and they've aged very well. They did this cool thing where like it'd do a cutscene, and the cutscene would fade. They actually, because you could tell it had to be Warner Brothers because they had the rights, because it would fade from a scene in the movie into the cutscene in the game, which at the time looked flawless. Obviously, not so much now. But the gameplay itself has really held up. Incredible game series. Lord of the Rings, the whole series. Playing through. It was so good.
Nice.
So good.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Go back. It's worth it. There's one of the few series I say go back and play because it has aged well.
Cool. All right, I'll check that out. The last and final game that I'll probably talk about before we move on is there's two versions of it for the PlayStation 2, and I played both of them. And that is, and you're probably going to be excited to hear about this, but it is Guitar Hero.
Yes!
And Guitar Hero 2.
Yes.
I actually attribute Guitar Hero for actually ruining like my timing and playing ability with playing regular guitar, because man, it was so easy to do, and I was really good at playing it. However, then when I went to go and play real guitar, it was like, ugh, it's so damn hard.
Seriously.
And it's like, why can't I just flip this thing up and down really quick and just get to play music? But had a lot of fun. It was great because being that my friends were, we were just kind of like never anything official in a band, in that point. It was just always a matter of like, we'd play in the garage or upstairs in his living room or whatever. But it was, one of the things that we love to do. And, we can also put on headphones and just play like, really loud music, and just
anyone just walking through the room just hears you bouncing around. Clickety clickety click click clickety clack 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 click 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 click.
And there's my buddy over on the side playing the drums and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, it was very fond memories of that, and just and the music selection that they had was pretty good, and but yeah, it was like the closest thing that we ever got to being
Being in a
anything
band,
popular.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, no one wanted to listen to our shit.
When Guitar Hero came out, that's honestly one of the purest like ages of gaming.
Yeah, was there singing? There was a microphone you can also get with that too,
Not
right?
at first, no. Rock Band did that.
Rock Band, okay, gotcha.
And then I think like Guitar Hero 5 was when they were like, Rock Band's ruining us, and that's when they came out with the drum set and the microphone and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But not like, because at that time, I mean, just like any time you have, you know, cliques of gaming. I only play this series of game. I only play this series of game. When Guitar Hero came out, like everyone played Guitar Hero, and you had so many people that never really did much. I was in high school when Guitar Hero came out, and I remember like seeing, the head people on the football team talking to people they'd never talked to before because they were playing Guitar Hero, or like hanging out and playing guitar. We had senior year of high school, I did a computer course, and the last day of school we had this huge Guitar Hero tournament. And it was like one of the coolest things ever. We had this huge screen on the wall, and there was just people from all walks of life that never hung out. And like, it was one of the few times, high school was hell. It was one of the few times where like, I mean, all these people that you just watched either hate each other, love each other, move this way, move that way, throughout high school. Like, they were all just in a room. None of that existed for like the first time ever. And everyone just hung out, laughed, and played Guitar Hero. It was like super sweet.
Yeah, it was a nice bonding experience that everybody can gather around. I mean, if you have good music, which it did,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was always a great bonding experience. We actually had friends over that, we never knew each other as far as like, friends of my friends or whatever would come over to my friend's house and meeting for the first time. It was always the icebreaker before we got to socialize. It was just, we handed a guitar over and I don't know, just seeing the responses out of the other person or whatever, just kind of ease the tension, and we were able to welcome another person into our group or whatever. But,
yeah. No,
yeah,
that try not to get emotional because it's awkward how emotional.
I want to see you cry.
I'm not gonna fucking cry.
Do it.
No, but so I legitimately almost did right there talking about that scene. It was a beautiful moment. But no, so Guitar Hero, in my experience, brought so many people together, including, it's very personal to me because I have a cousin named Andrew, who we were best friends when we were little kids. When we started to grow, like just for some reason hated each other. Grew super far apart, never talked to each other. We used to do everything together. And we were at a family reunion and he had Guitar Hero. And I mentioned that I'd played it. And like immediately there was no awkward like, oh, well, would you like to, like, immediately just, here, let's play. And we just sat there for like 3 hours and just laughed and talked.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Got it all out and just played Guitar Hero. And we've been amazing friends ever since. Like, that game brought me and one of my closest cousins back together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lovely story.
Thank you. Try not to cry.
No, it's fine. Families can be tough at times. I don't know if anybody listening out there or watching, I have those family members where they've drifted off, and I wish I had Guitar Hero to save that relationship.
Yeah, but I mean, it's anyone that says gaming doesn't do stuff like that is just. I have so many stories like that where just gaming is. I mean, we like me and you.
Yeah,
we wouldn't know each other without gaming. Like, it's nuts.
And
stuff
you were
like that.
highly intrusive to get into my life. Yeah,
yeah. Literally. Hey, meet me now, I believe was what the Twitter post said. Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously, like it's crazy. Like I'm trying to not cry right now.
No, it's okay. And I'm trying to make light of it so you don't cry all over your microphone.
Anyway.
But it's good. It's healthy. Let it out.
Yeah.
Please.
No, I'll hold it in for years again. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I feel better.
Okay.
Yeah, Guitar Hero, man. Those were the days. Group of friends.
I'm surprised you didn't pick that out, but
Well, because I knew I'd
Maybe.
get emotional, so I purposely tried not to.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, dude, I got so into that game.
Good.
Aerosmith was honestly just for gameplay alone. Guitar Hero Aerosmith is my favorite. Not like I love Aerosmith, but not that much. But
Mhm.
for some reason, the note to button, I guess, ratio or threshold or however, converting music to the button scheme felt the best in Guitar Hero Aerosmith. I don't know why. But I remember playing songs in that going, this actually feels amazing. So, fun
That's
fact.
amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crying. Living on the edge.
Living I don't want to say this segment left me jaded, but
Sorry. Shall we move on?
yeah, that's enough. Aerosmith.
Okay.
All right, let's move forward, Gunbait.
All righty.
You want to do that? Do that?
Let's
Okay,
do that.
Story time!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Story Time. This is a segment of the show where we go around and we tell go to YouTube and we tell stories. Kind of what we've been doing all night, really, but
Yeah.
involving gaming, a gaming experience, whatever. Not every week is a segment where we tell a lot of gaming stories, so Story Time works. But I actually really enjoy the segment, and it's really fun when we have guests and they get to tell some stories people don't know. But do you have a story this week for us?
I do actually.
Why don't you start us off?
This story is how I inadvertently did an LFG group, just randomly did a VOG raid with a group of people that I had no idea who they were, and then eventually realized that I was also listening to their podcast as I got to talking to them. But it was a great experience. And as a lot of you may know, I listen to about 40 hours of podcasts a week, just because I'm a lonely person at nighttime where I work. I have no one to talk to. And so I listen to a lot of podcasts to keep me sane. But this story leads back into in the previous episode with the Outplayed podcast members, how they mentioned how they were from Derp. I also had origins or lineage from Derp as well. And one night, it was a late night, I saw in an LFG group a person by the name of Maynard James posted an LFG group on Derp saying that, hey, need one for VOG. And I was like, okay, I haven't done VOG in a long time. This is before Age of Triumph and all that. Jump in, and I don't know this guy for anything. Then later found out that he was like big in soloing Crota, just like he would do multiple raids, and he actually carried us through VOG. But that's beside the point. He was amazing, actually. But
Yeah,
he later there's as I'm playing, there's one guy whose name is Disgustipated, and later realized that was actually Agrios. His his other username is I can't remember, the Sharks 3D man.
Yeah.
I think Grey Ghost was also there as well, and I can't remember the name, but and I'm gonna kill myself because I can't remember his name. But nice
Don't
dude.
do that.
Yeah, no, I won't. It's killing me at what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so it was funny because I'm just playing with these guys, and I'm looking at a lot of these names. I said, well, you guys must be a lot of Tool fans here, aren't you, or something? They're like, yup. And because there's one guy I'm playing with, his name is Maynard James, and the other guy, his name is Disgustipated, which is also a Tool song. And I was really enjoying their company, and I said, man, your guys' names sound really familiar. I listened to this podcast, and it's a Destiny focused podcast. And they're like, yeah, it's part of the Guardian Radio or Guardian One network, right? And I said, yeah. They're like, look at our clan tag. And I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, it was Guardian One clan or whatever.
What have I done?
It was just funny. And like it was like the quickest VOG run I've ever had. And I know it was a while back I had mentioned that tie this back to a more recent time though. On your stream, I noticed that one of your followers on Twitch was Maynard James. And I said, "Holy shit, I played with him!" And it was just actually like an amazing thing to me because I hadn't heard from him in a while, and he was just a totally nice guy, and he was really involved with the game, and it was a great experience. And what was great is they were podcasters, so they were like talking and like going in depth about like stuff that's coming up for the show and stuff like that. And I was just like, this is amazing. But sadly to say, I mean, I don't want to go take the story into a sad note, but I don't think that they're recording anymore. So if they are, they're just doing live shows. But it was an excellent time, and it was just a time that I got to play with people that it was just by pure coincidence that, you know, and I felt stupid afterwards because I'm listening to their voices. They all sound familiar, and been listening to these guys for months, and then hearing them in my ears again, playing with them. I was like,
what's happening right now? Yeah.
It felt so stupid, but
it's actually fun just because you mentioned Maynard real quick. It's actually funny because when you first like messaged me, I was like, okay, because I met him through playing Apex.
Yeah.
So
he's big into BRs now.
I had no idea that he had anything to do with Destiny at all. So when you're freaking out, I'm like, what would he play? Like, what do you like? I just met him playing Apex one night. What are you talking about? Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Would you like to share a story?
You know what? I would love to.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to tell a Midnight Club Dub Edition remix story.
All right.
This is it. I had forgotten about it, and this popped in my head while we were talking tonight, and I'm really glad it did. So I had a friend, a much older friend. He was, one would say, an adult with a job. He ran like 3 businesses. He was very wealthy, had a super nice house, smoking hot wife, super nice muscle cars. And on top of that, this dumb idiot was just a really nice person. Looking back, it pisses me off.
On his downside, he really loved cocaine gum, though.
Loved just all the time, just rubbing his teeth. Is weird. But I'm one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Which, fun fact, we didn't talk for a long time, and then we met again in Destiny 1. I did my first raid ever with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, let me show you what a raid is," and it was pretty cool.
Aww, that's awesome.
But so at the time, he did some stuff on YouTube, and he actually made a lot of Midnight Club content. He was really good at the game because the guy was huge into the car scene. This was his game.
Yeah.
And so I went on a bike ride with him one time, this huge bike ride. We wound up back at his house, and he's like, "Hey, let's race, because I know you play this game. I make content." He's like, "I'm going to destroy you." And I was like, "Listen here, old man." He was probably like 21. I don't know. Like, I'm going to destroy your shit, right? And so we sit down to play, and this guy had money. Money, it's nuts. He had the whole sound system in the whole house. The whole house was the game sound.
Nice.
Ridiculous. So we sit down to play, and I fucking destroyed him. And it felt so good. I remember because he was one of the nicest people ever, but it started to irk him.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people that know this gentleman that have never seen this side of him, and I have. And I hold that in my heart of hearts. He kicked me out of his house.
And you've never seen him again.
and that's when we stopped. No, actually, he moved away and was even more successful. Fuck. God, he's got life figured out. But no, I just remember that fun because like it was an awesome bike ride. We just hung out, went and had lunch, went back to his place. Super cool sound system. I destroyed him because he talked so much shit. He made so much, like on YouTube, people were like, "You're the best guy in this game ever," and that's my claim. I mean, nothing's recorded, so no one knows that I'm amazing, but
yeah,
but I do. And that's all
I
that
believe
matters. Which I hope so, because I did nothing. I mean, at the time, I didn't have a job. I literally went to school and played this game. That was my life. So I would hope I was okay at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. There we go.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share in this space of ours that is safe.
It's a safe space.
Okay.
Let's do our emails.
We have one email.
Yay.
We have no update on Anne, sorry. Who
Oh.
did say hi. I didn't get a, clickbait back.
Did you respond to her in written form, though?
I did, yeah. I responded
Okay.
just like the last person I responded. I said, we all say hi.
Okay.
Nothing back yet, which is weird. I thought I'd get a,
Seems fishy.
yeah.
Hope
Seems
she's okay, though.
The only email we have is from Twitch. It says SSJManJIN_BUU just went live on Twitch.
Oh, congratulations, SSJ, man.
Boo. So there we go. And that is our emails. I'm glad we did that.
I like how you will read literally any.
I've said that. If it's there, I will read it. If it's from Apple, if it's from, whatever. I will read it. Actually, is this one from... I'm going to shut the game up. No. We answered that last.
Oh, backward.
I thought it was an email that we hadn't, because we missed a week. I thought we had one. But nope, we don't.
Yeah.
Cool. There we go. Well, questions you may ask. How do we send emails? JustSomeGardens@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Questions you guys can ask us. We don't do that. Because...
We'll be asking the questions, old man.
Yeah, you heard that. Old successful man who's doing way better at life than I am. I see you out there. Actually, I wish I saw you. Please move back.
Is he a good-looking dude?
This guy had everything.
I'm not interested. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just generally interested.
Great shape, super,
Nice.
just perfect. Like, this guy had to, I don't know, have a basement full of dead bodies or something. Like, there has to be something.
Yeah.
Just life figured out. Good teeth, good posture. I mean, he broke his back one time snowboarding, but he was like professional snowboarding for a while. Like, just went out and saw life and grabbed it by the balls, And then there's me.
You just need to grab more balls, I guess.
I guess so. If you're interested in me grabbing balls,
Send an email to justsomeguardians@gmail.com.
and I will read it.
Literally.
So,
Yeah.
question of the week last time was written by our dear friend Gunbait, who's right here with us.
Amazing.
Do you happen to have that question handy? I mean, I do. I don't know if you want to read it or not.
I don't.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read
Actually,
it.
I would.
Question of the week. If you could make one rule for a day and everyone had to abide by that rule, what would it be? We had a few pretty good answers here.
Mm-hmm.
All
life lessons and
yeah. I'll start with the first one if you want to move down after that. How's that sound?
Sure.
Perfect. Drafty, who was going to be here. Awkward. Drafty says, if you could make one rule for a day, his says show up to podcasts. That's a weird. No, his says use your turn signal. Let them in or be pitted. Look up pit maneuver if you don't know what my reference is. Use your turn signal. His rule would be for everyone to use their turn signal.
I think it's optional, but whatever.
As someone who spends his life driving, please. It is so annoying to be waiting to turn to enter traffic to progress my route and watching you and going, are you going to turn? Can I go? And then you turn your turn signal on as you're making the right-hand turn. Super annoying. I could have gone. Boy. On to you.
Okay. Sentinel Dad with an arrow with the finger pointing up.
All right.
Okay.
Back to me.
Actually, the next one is from Jay is so fetch. No political chatter at work. Nobody cares who you voted for. Kenny.
And my brother-in-law's name is Kenny, and honestly, it's very annoying that you talk about that all the time, Kenny.
My brother-in-law is he has his doctorate in political science.
Oh God.
So guess what I don't like to hear at Thanksgiving?
Yep. Look who's making it this year. Well, guess we're all gonna be sick.
I'm gonna starve this year.
Nate Fu, really good answer. If you see an empty coffee pot or two pots that can be combined into one, you must make a new pot at work or at home.
As a coffee drinker, I agree.
I don't even drink coffee, and that bothers me for some reason.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
honestly.
looking out for us.
Yeah. But my old job, I worked security. I did patrols all the time. You know, would go through the break room and like I'd see stuff like that, and I'd be like, why don't they just make a new pot? I, as a non-coffee drinker, would make a new pot for these people as they worked overnight. And I got told
What
many
a guy.
times that I made the best coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one's from Laz. If you see Laz or any other coworker with headphones on, leave them alone unless it's work related. That's true.
Yeah. This has actually become a bit, I don't know if you've seen this is popping up like in the news, like Twitter feeds, like it's apparently becoming normal. They'll just like, if you see someone wearing headphones, it's okay to bother them is what people are trying to say. No, it's not okay.
There's a reason why they have headphones in.
They don't want to talk to you.
It's a clear divider between you and them. And basically it's saying, I do not want to put my attention on you at all.
I actually saw a thread. This guy was trying to prove the point that trying to meet a girl and you see a girl with headphones in, it is actually a-okay for you to pull the headphone out of her ear so you can introduce yourself.
I am very bothered by that.
First of all, that's her personal space. You've just invaded it.
Yeah.
You didn't actually touch her, but that's part of it. That's a big no-no. Second of all, that's going to fail 100% of the time. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Thirdly,
Be prepared to get
you
kicked
invaded
in the
her
nuts.
space. I'm going to say that again because that is not okay. Ever. Hope you get hit by a train. I hope you're wearing headphones in, and as the train hits you, it pops the headphones out of your ear.
Do you want me to read the next one?
Yep.
Okay. Addition to the previous post, by the way, this is from Nate Fu. As this just happened, if your office oh gosh, okay.
I believe in you.
I just realized he just totally tied it back to the previous one. But if your office uses a Keurig and you see the reservoir is running low, fill it.
Fill it. May it forever be filled. May its reign of fullness continue on.
I hope your Keurig reservoirs runneth over.
Yes. May the Keurig reservoirs of your life overflow. Hey, Gunbabe.
Hey.
Let's do a new question of the week for people.
Let's. Okay, so I guess I have another question here. I don't know why I said I guess.
You wrote it.
Because I had to scroll up and I was trying to pause for time, but then I realized it's not that far up in our chat. So, all right, question of the week for episode 84. What is the weirdest thing you have seen in someone else's home? I'm really looking forward to those answers.
I'm very looking forward to that. I mean, if people wanted to answer that, what would they have to do?
You just basically join our Discord.
Oh.
Before I go into that, may I go into my other thing? Our other thing?
Is there do you have something to announce?
Yeah, I kind of do actually have something to announce. Are you
Is this
ready
like
for this?
Is this a big moment?
It kind of is a big moment.
Well, I'm glad I'm sitting down.
Okay, so what I'm going to start off, it's a little bit of a primer, a little bit of an instruction period for us, okay? I'm going to give you a way that you can join our Discord.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. All you have to do is just go to justsomeguardians.com/Discord.
Excuse me? Did you just say
I'll say it again.
justsomeguardians.com?
/Discord is actually what I just said.
Thank you for correcting me.
Okay. But also, yes, the root of that, I did say justsomeguardians.com. And that is our new website.
Not new. It's just our web. We didn't have one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, basically, if you want to get to any of our social media, it's all on there. We have some bios up there right now. I plan to add a little bit more later on. But we're trying to combine an easier way to get access to all of our media. So if you want to get to our Twitch live stream, you can just go to justsomeguardians.com/Twitch. Same thing with /YouTube. We actually have it now to where our YouTube page is embedded onto our website with actually a subscription link. And if you wanted to dive down deeper without having the chat or the comments down below, you can actually click through and go to the YouTube page. But I always highly advise never look at comments. But there's some other things coming down the road on the website too. I just have an initial blog post page up there right now. I actually have a list of things slated for articles coming out on the website. And I actually have some planned things. So in the near future, if you out there in the community receive a DM from me, please don't run away in horror, because I would actually like to do like a kind of community spotlight type deal. These will go in parallel to the podcast, and you may have already been a guest on the podcast, but it may be a little bit deeper dive into who you are if you're willing to give that kind of information.
We love getting deep.
Yeah,
inside
so deep.
Your thought.
You can say it.
We want to get really deep inside your posse.
Yeah, so deep. But yeah, it'd be just a nice little interview. Nothing high pressure or anything like that. Just a nice little chat back and forth to where we're doing some community spotlights. I put it out in the Discord kind of vaguely earlier 2 weeks ago because we were off last week. But basically stating that we'd have another announcement, that I'd have some other writing opportunities. But basically what I would actually like to see is I'm also going to be writing up some things too, as far because I have a huge Steam library that I want to just get through some of these games. And I thought, what a better way to, because there may not be time in a podcast to actually record down a whole review or my thoughts on a game. Excuse me. I don't know why I almost just burped loudly in the mic, but I'm glad I backed away. But but I also wanted to have game reviews up there, and as I put it out in the Discord earlier, there will be other writing opportunities for other members of the community to submit. I have the option of actually having attribution, so I can actually set it up to where other people who want to contribute, they can actually have an account set up with our website, and they can actually submit a blog post if they like, and we go and share that around the interwebs for all of our viewing pleasure. So,
and we've reached out to a few people, but if that's something you're interested in doing, maybe getting your thoughts, maybe you don't want to get on a podcast because it can be scary at times for sure, but you still want to get your ideas or thoughts or reviews out there. Like, just send us an email, let us know, hit us up. We'll get your work up there. And
if you don't want to post it directly, we can gladly post it for you and have it attribution going back towards you. So I just want to make sure that if anybody is going to put work into article, that they do get some proper attribution.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited for the community spotlight type thing. And I also have some articles slated for just general gaming topics, as far as like, I got to thinking when we had the Outplayed podcast members on here, when we talked about Rage, and also about the Rage before that, and then communities after that, I thought this would be a good idea to just basically sit down and just have kind of an opinion piece on certain things. Like we were actually having one today, Elmer, a lighthearted conversation in another Discord about balancing, and well, today on my lunch break, I actually wrote up like half an article, and I'm hoping to have that posted by the end of this week. So, come back to me. Okay. Thank you.
Hey, what's up?
But, I'm actually really excited. It was something that I saw that, for one thing, mainly I created the website to really just have an easier way for people to get to our YouTube content, because it's so hard to read out a long URL, and YouTube makes it so hard to get to a new starter.
Yep.
In this type of content creation field. But then once I started creating a page just for that, I was like, well, shoot, let's actually make a go of this and actually have some fun with this. So there's also many more capabilities with the website that I'm kind of holding back right now. I'm testing some certain things out until I'm ready, but
Trickling it out. Keep you guys interested. Reel you in later with some DLC for the website.
We'll have some updates down the road, but I'm really excited about it. Yes, that is a possibility. We can have a gallery of just dick pictures. It's our website. We can do what we want.
Yeah, whatever we want. Come on.
I
listen
love
to this
Dick
show.
Clark.
Yeah.
So,
Dicks.
but something I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited about it too, Elmer.
I am.
And,
like seriously, like the amount of work you've done on this thing is incredible. If you have this website and you just have it pulled up, like you never have to go anywhere else for us. I mean, except we don't have like Podbean and stuff linked in or anything, right? I don't think I saw that.
By the way, you can also go to justinguardians.com/listen, and it basically, as the podcast is posted, it's all linked to Podbean. And you're going off camera right now, but yes, you can. It actually has a player built in with all the previous episodes of the podcast right there, and you can. And one thing I didn't notice, I was actually excited about this. There's a little hamburger menu that you can drop down, and so if there's any links or anything like that embedded within the show notes of the episode, that all drops down and displays. But at first, it's a very minimal display where it just shows you which episode is playing. And then you can deep dive into that a little bit more and get more information. So
yeah, you never have to go anywhere. You can go there. You can listen to the episodes. If you go to the YouTube section again, as we upload videos, it immediately is embedded on that page with the latest video at the top. Press play, see it, subscribe. Twitch, our channel is embedded in there. Like he said, it's incredible. Like as we go live, boom, pause. You can watch the stream and chat to us from the website if you want. You don't even have to go to Twitch, but you should.
On the Twitch page, and this is all also my own self-critiquing, I'm going to have to mess with a little bit of formatting because mobile is a hard thing to do.
Yes.
So there's some certain things with going between desktop version and mobile that I'm working out, but that'll all get worked out. But this was all just trying to get everything together too. But for the most part, the website is working completely, and I'm just excited for getting content up there.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. Go check it out. JustSomeGuardians.com. Everything you need is there. Your one-stop shop, drop, and roll if you're on fire.
I'm glad that Evil J in chat is also getting our testimonials. So
yeah. Thank you very much. And I think that does it for us, right?
It does. I believe it does.
Right on. Hey, Gunbait. You know, I know people can just go to the website and see, like, you know, who you are and what you do. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I enjoy listening to your voice. So where can people find you?
Well, let's see here. You don't like listening to that voice? Okay, sorry. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Steam. What else?
I liked the question mark. Steam.
All at Gunbait 101.
Right on. You're beautiful, man.
Where can people find you?
And the show? What?
Well, you'll get to that point.
What? That comes first and then me. Like every week.
You're right. That's how this show is ran.
Yeah, that's how this show is ran. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us for episode 84 of Just Some Guardians. We do the show. We're live. Twitch.tv/JustSomeGuardians. Go to the website. It's all that. This makes it so easy. JustSomeGuardians.com. See Twitch and YouTube and everything there. Contact us. Emails. JustSomeGuardians@gmail.com. As for me, I'm ELMMERFUDD. Twitter and Twitch and YouTube at ELMMERFUDD Games. Double M, double D. Gunbait. You want to take us out?
I'll try.
You got this.
Join us next week on Just Some Guardians for mutual chaos and utter incompetency.
Nailed it. In this case, X equals gunbait. You gave it to him.
We're just gonna give it to you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, I kind of lit up when I heard this song. I thought you were actually really going to be talking about Resident Evil.
No! That worked really well, though. I had no idea that existed. I'm going to have to go watch a video of it because that sounds awesome.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh my god. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a good show.
I agree. Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
Me too. You know, as much time off air as we spend talking one-on-one, it's nice to talk one-on-one with you.
We talk a lot,
We do.
and
But
I
it was
love every
still
moment.
nice to just do this.
Yeah. No, this is great. The one-on-one, just us touching dicks to each other.
Yeah, man. Bumping booties, having us a ball, y'all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Here's what's going to happen.